I was terrified by the thought or the idea which I had in my mind. So I don't know from where it came. Like it was just out of the blue, out of the box, you can kind of say. I was just thinking I had recently read some literature novels and all those. So something hit me that whether whatever we do, whatever we perceive, anything, it can be anything. Let's say this copy, this page. Currently, you are listening to me. You are seeing me as a boy with hair and all these mustaches and my physical characteristics, my eyes, whatever you can see. So, are like whatever we perceive, you perceive, I perceive, is it actually real? Because let's say if I take some kind of a drug or you take some kind of a drug, you will see me, or rather you will see a device, it will behave like some kind of a monster. Or let's say you will see your house as some kind of a swimming pool, right? So all these perceptions are just the brain's processing. So the brain sees, the brain has been conditioned to believe that okay, this is a boy, and the boy, basically he attaches the characteristics that is generally found in a boy, like okay, hair, mustaches, deep voice, and all those looks. And this is the page. So in page we write white blank page. So that is what our brain attaches the meaning to. But if you take some kind of a drug, because of course there are many such drugs available, if you take one of them, you will see as if the this paper, you will feel as if this is a very valuable gold, and you will try to protect it. But can you realize that whatever, see, the main reason we see this is because our brain gets disturbed, or you can say distorted, when we take this kind of drugs. But I dug deeper into it. I asked myself that what if we are in an unconscious drug state? How do we know what is real or not? Because ultimately, whatever we perceive or whatever we feel is just because our brain accesses it like in that way. So, for you, let's take an example. Like currently, okay, let's take an example of previous time. So currently, we have all these planes and private jets and all those, and we can travel from one place to another in a really really short time. But let's say we go 5,000 years back, where there were no cars, no planes, and all those. And there we go, and we can travel very fast from one place to another because of the transport we have. So other people who don't have the ancient knowledge, they will believe that I am some kind of a god, or I have some kind of a great magic. Although currently we know that having cars and all these more transport vehicles are really common. So I also had a similar. I also read rather a similar experience or instance. I think it was in the King Solomon's Mines, the book. As far as I remember, I'm not exactly sure. But what happened there was that they were ancient people, so they offered sacrifices to the god. So what happened? The foreigners, they had this knowledge of solar eclipse. However, that they were the tribal people. They did not know much about them. So what they did is that they used that eclipse to their advantage, and they told that we are the favorites of the sun god, and if you try to sacrifice us, we will ask the sun god to shut himself up. And they timed it perfectly, and the sun, got so eclipse occurred, and then they were saved. So for them, the people, they feared that okay, might be there from the stars, or might be there from they might be God's favorite, so we should not hurt them. But actually, it's just now we know that it's just the earth revolves in such a way, it comes around in the sun, and the moon blocks the view. So that's the reason. But again, so for them that was that was something magical, something really great. But for us, of course, it's still mythical, I mean, still amazing and also very intriguing, but it's still scientific basically. So if I see this table, uh, whatever table, or if you see that me, I am flying in the sky, then you will feel that okay, I have some kind of a power. Or you will probably feel that you are in a dream, because you have, let's say, this table which I'm recording on is just flying on its own. Then you will feel that okay, I'm in a dream, so that is fake. Why? Because normally you don't see tables flying currently, do you? Of course you don't. So that's why you believe that no, that might be fake. But maybe in the future we have the technology that tables can fly, and for us then that would be common. So all this real or fake is just our brain's perception. Like it's really confusing that I was also very much confused by this idea that is anything real at all? Because whatever we do are due to this, how the brain processes it. All every each and every action happens in our mind, right? So how am I being able to say this? We can take several instances, several examples. That okay, let's take two persons. What might be beautiful for one person might not even be worth watching for some kind of an animal or another person. So it's very really really very subjective. For us, we believe that this this pen, this is black in color. But what if I told you that this color is not black, I call it some uh, some blue color. If I call this blue color, but you know that no, this is called black because other people believe it. You have been forced to believe that okay, this is black color. So hence you believe that okay, this pen is black, and if I write it, black ink will come out. But if I condition you from from your childhood itself that no, this is blue color, when you go outside the world, you will say to everyone that no, this is blue color, and blue wings comes out of it. And then of course people will call you mad and all those, but they don't realize that all this is because just your conditioning, that how you were raised up, so called, because you were, it was not inherent, it was something that was externally put into you. So I also asked this doubt to my teacher, and he told me that see, this is nothing is real. That's what the Vedant says, that all this whatever we talk about science, physics, and mathematics, and all these subjects and all, they are not the truth. They are just facts, right? So he told me that existence which we have is being seen or perceived by the brain, which is a tool, right? So the brain is some kind of a dimensional, three-dimensional object, you can say, kind of a projector. It projects the world, which is, or in our respect, is 3D, length, breadth, and width, and height. Sorry. So it makes things colorful. It gives a particular geometry. So what we believe to be a circle might appear differently to another species. So for our eyes, we perceive that okay, uh, this is a rectangle, but for some other species, maybe this rectangle might appear like this bottle might be the cylinder or might be a sphere. So we don't know. So it's just how we perceive it, that is how our brain perceives it. Similarly, as I mentioned, that if you take some drug, you will feel that this is some dancing rainbow or something like that. You will feel weird stuff. So that's the thing. So nothing can be said to be the absolute truth. They are all just our how brains perceive it. So, for example, if I tell you that, let's say, I tell you to keep quiet, then you say that okay, I'm keeping quiet and the room is silent. So fine, all okay, all fine. But let's say some a dog outside from comes, you from your room above to 20,000 hertz frequency is emitted. You know that the normal hearing range of a human ranges from 20 to 20 kilohertz, right? 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So if some sound, let's say 50 kilohertz is heard or comes out from the room, we will not be able to hear it because our senses are imperfect. But a dog, on the other hand, it can sense it, and it will tell that why don't you shut up? Why are you emitting so large of a sound? So it's similar that okay, currently we don't see any bacteria and all those, but does that mean that they don't exist? They do exist, but we don't see them because our senses are imperfect. We are unable to perceive them. So what is real and what is fake is really, really very difficult to say. I don't think that we can describe truth as something definite. If you really ask me what truth is, I would say the truth is truth itself. Full stop. I can't go beyond it. It's a kind of a experience rather than just a destination. That okay, the truth is this. We cannot have a concrete definition because all this whatever knowledge we get is just facts. But again, facts are important because facts open the doorway to the truth. And what's the truth is, again, honestly, I don't have no idea as of now. Maybe if I will, then I will share, of course. So that is just really absurd to think about, and it really blew my mind away. Please ponder over it. I don't know. It feels very scary, honestly. That what if uh, we don't exist at all? What if all these things are a myth? Like similar to what in fantasy novels like Harry Potter and all those happened. The non-magical people, the Muggle, they could not sense the magical world. Why? Because they did not have the perfect senses, or they did not have the capability to perceive them. So maybe similar thing is happening with us. We think that this is the real thing, this is the real world. But what if we are again drugged into some mysterious state and we don't know it consciously? So it's really, really a scary thought that maybe all this is fake. All this is fake in the sense that we can't define absolute truth fundamentally. We all, I keep talking about truth. We all philosophers talk about truth, all of them, but we can't exactly define what is the absolute truth. It's really scary and very dangerous as well. So please give it a thought. I mean, it's really scary. You can say amazing thought, amazing, very scary. I was kind of like uh, mind blown. Like, how could this even happen? That uh, maybe no reality exists at all. So let's see. I guess I could put my point forward. I hope you have also gotten a bit insight into what I was trying to tell you. So we'll make the next day and maybe try to discuss some other topic, of course, which is as scary or as fundamental as this. But we don't know the answer. It's so fundamental, the truth, but we don't know what truth it is. Maybe one day we will, but currently I don't have any idea, and I don't think anyone will have, because truth can only prevail when we cease to exist. I believe that, because we are ourselves imperfect. So how can perfect things arrive from imperfect beings, right? That's all for this video. See you later, of course. Okay, bye. Take care.